22% of golfers have never been fit for a wedge for their golf bag, which tells us that there's some wriggle room there for improvement, certainly when it comes to your short game. Remember, this is the scoring zone. Well, in today's video, we're going to take a closer look at a wedge fitting here at the Titleist Performance Centre at Woburn. We're going to take a closer look at my wedge game and see if the fitter John can get me into the best wedges that are going to work best for my game. Well, John, I'm excited. We're getting into a fitting. 22%, I mean, it's not that many golfers, is it, that's being fitted for the area of the game, which is probably one of the most important.
Well, it's your scoring zone, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we refer to it as. So you're hitting partial shots, you're trying to get the ball as close to the pin as possible if you're short-sided, you know, getting up and down to say par your scrambling game. It's all situated in your short game, right? So if players aren't spending as much time focusing on, do I get fit for wedges, when they'll go and get fit for their driver and they'll go get fit for their irons, right? You've tackled that part, but now you can't score. You don't know what wedge is going to work for you. You don't know what bounces, you don't know what grinds are. Like, it's an unknown. You take a stab in the dark like that. You wouldn't necessarily do that with your driver when you're trying to gain in terms of your dispersion and all the elements around that. And I think this year what we tried to do is simplify that for people a little bit. So we've always had the 3 Ds. Now we've got the 3 keys to wedge play. So we're looking at contact, we're looking at flight, and we're looking at spin. And to summarize what that is, the correct grind for you, based on your dynamics, will pull that contact between grooves 2 and 5. The CG location in all the wedges now will bring that flight down to match tour level flight, which is desired to be lower than most people think. Something we see when we get players, they think a 60 should pop straight up in the air. Even on tour, they're trying to get that flight when they're hitting pitches and chips. Everything's lower with more grab, and then spin. The grooves that we're utilising are the 3 different ones throughout the set to do their unique thing based on the style in which you're hitting. More of a penetrating hit into the ground is going to get more debris, so we're shifting that out with deeper grooves. But when you get to a 60 and maybe there's potentially more partial shots, you don't need as deep as a groove. You need like a wider, shallower, shift that quicker, getting that leading edge of that groove to hit that ball and spin. So with those 3 points tackled, then you can get those wedges into play and play a lot better and get up and down more frequently from tight lies.
Well, my short game this year hasn't been the best, so I'm really looking forward to diving into this and seeing if you can help me with a good fitting.
Traditionally, we would normally fit you out on the turf, right? But we're in the middle of December right now, filming this for release come January. The ground condition is going to be a bit softer, so if we were to just solely do it off of turf, you probably find that you would be in a higher grind, or a different grind than you would be in the summer. So for all of your viewers as well, how can you go and get fit for wedges indoors? Well, luckily our R&D team were posed that question a while ago, and they created the Wedge app, which takes into account all the dynamics the golfer plays for those types of shots and matches their dynamics to the potential grind that they're going to go in, and gives them a percentage score based on the conditions of their golf course. Because again, if you're getting fit somewhere that's not local to your golf course, they need to know from you what are the conditions like and how can that grind potentially match to that condition. If you travel a lot, we've got options to show you how that will work, and we'll do like a summary once we've done the fit. But all we're going to do is hit shots and yardages, and I'm going to set this up very much like it was an indoor environment, where anybody that has an account with us or anybody that's fitting wedges for us can utilise these same tools and use all these tools to their advantage to help the golfer understand why they'd be in these potential grinds. So obviously wedge out, we're going to ask you a couple of questions. You said you play all year round.
Yes.
So conditions can
be
soft. We would say a medium condition is probably good because you play winter and summer.
And I play a few different golf courses which have got firmer conditions or softer conditions throughout the year, so yeah.
And this isn't set in stone, so anybody at home that says, what if I get this wrong? It's not set in stone just yet. We can discuss that at the end when we summarise.
Yeah.
What's your level of confidence out of bunkers when your game was good?
I would say my bunker play is good.
Yeah.
I would say I'm pretty confident out of the bunker. It's when we get outside the bunker is maybe a slight problem.
Perfect. So to give you a reference, high would be like tour level standard bunker play?
Definitely not tour level, but let's go.
So we'll go more.
More.
Perfect. We know that your pitch and wedge loft is an MB, so you're at 47.
Yeah.
And then you say you want to play a 60 as your highest club.
Correct.
So it will give you options as to what setup you would have in the bag.
Okay.
Whether this is similar or different to what you're playing. If you wanted a Vokey instead, I can select that as a 46.
Okay.
And it will give you that option, or we can test the 48.
Right.
So either way round, this is totally like unique to setting it up in a way that works for you.
Right.
So would you like you currently play in your Vokeys a 46?
46 would be the Vokey setup. 47 would be my MB setup. So let's go with 46 for the purpose of what we're doing
so
today.
it'll gap it in that fashion, which we know is the lofts that you would play anyway. So the app takes that into account. We then decide what you're using these for. You said you never really use the 54 for open face, but you might potentially use it for a bunker.
Occasionally when I get those
really deep fluffy lies.
Yeah, exactly, where it gets a lot of sand in there.
46 and 50 are just full shots, and maybe the occasional chip and run with a 50 if you need to really roll it out.
Exactly right.
For the purpose of the video and the content, we won't really need to do many of those pitch shots. Whereas your 60, would you ever hit that as like a full shot?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I enjoy hitting it as full. That where you've got that set up now of all those different areas of the game, that's exactly how I would use these clubs.
And then we just rank it in terms of frequencies. When you're playing at your best, what are you more likely to be hitting these shots for? Would you say you're hitting full pitch and then bunker in the 54 more often?
I would say full and then the pitching. Yeah. I would say not as much with the bunker.
We leave the bunker on there just so it, like for the app's purposes,
yeah.
It knows that you're going to potentially use it at some stage, but we rate it very much down at the bottom.
Okay.
There. And then with the 60, would you say you do pitch, open face and bunker before full, or would you tend to go full pitch, open face, then bunker?
It's a really good one. I think I would, if I'm pitching, I'd rather go with the 50, well, in my mind, I'd be 56, but in the, I would probably go open face. I would probably go open face and bunker, then full, then pitch, in that order.
That way?
Yes, perfect. Nice, stripes. That's a bit more like it.
As you can see in the app, it's starting to suggest, based on your full shot technique and your delivery, based on attack angle, shaft length, it gives you a picture in this little square of where your pitching technique is, and it's given us an idea based on full shots what potentially you could be in. Now what's interesting is you said you loved that and people tried to get you out of it quite a lot.
Yeah.
And you always refused to come out of it. Through the Wedge app, looking at your dynamics, that's the first thing it's suggested.
14 bounce in F grind, yeah.
In your 54.
In my 54.
Very nice. Very nice. Very good. Obviously we talked about you would probably prefer a 56 based on the way that your game plays, but if you were hitting your 56, what kind of yardage would you hit it to?
So my 56, I'm generally playing anything between, as a full shot, anything between 100 and 104, 5 yards.
Ah, interesting. So before you hit that next one, the Wedge app is suggesting that now, potentially, based on your dynamics, you should be in a different grind. So I'm going to get you to hit that. And the reason I do this in the middle of the fitting is because when we're talking about how the contact point feels different when you're in the right grind, if you don't let the golfer do that during the fit, they'll never get that sensation of feel. So they won't be able to necessarily feel the difference between the two strikes. First one you said felt a little clean.
Yes, definitely.
And then we're going to go and hit this one with the same technique and see what happens.
Instantly better as a feel.
Good.
Again, much better. Got kind of down and into the ball a little bit more, a little bit easier.
Lovely. Now, interestingly, we'll talk about it in a summary in a second because we're going to do 60 pitch, and then you can see on here it's suggesting, because you hit full shots, a potential grind for you to use in the 60. Now, if I give you that one to start with, if a fitter says the wording of what they want you to do, you're directing the golfer to hit a shot they may not hit on their golf course. It will influence the app. It's very important that you build a scenario for the player so that they rely on their technique and the way that they would hit that shot to then match in with their dynamics. Nice. Very nice.
Quite absolutely
quite lit.
Zipped that one, didn't it? Well, John, that was fantastic. I feel like we've kind of got somewhere with that fitting. I've got a better understanding of what I need for my game. The app kind of follows on nicely with what you're kind of talking about, but ultimately, from a fitting standpoint, only 22% of players being fit for wedges. I mean, you train the PGA pros to make sure that they get the fit right, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we bring all of our trade accounts and all our partners, PGA pros, we bring them onto site and we take them through a fitting process so they understand sort of why we do what we do and how. We're not here to tell them how they should do it, it's more to give them tools that if they want to adopt and bring into their fitting analogies, then amazing. Then we've helped them with that journey to be able to offer that to their members, their lessons, their consumers. Stuff like the wedge fitting app, it just makes it simple for them. So without going into super amounts of detail, golfers might not need to know that. They might just need to know what grind's going to work for me. How can you help me get the right grind? How can you do it when we don't have a perfect outdoor facility where the greens are very receptive and we're using Pro V1s? We've shown you tools that you can use that. You can also use the wedge selector tool. So if the PGA Pro is like, I know their dynamics, I know their numbers, I know what their divot pattern is like, gives them a rough guide, what potential grinds they could use. And then if they've got the ability to take it out and test it at their local course, great, do it. Because the only thing you're going to do is you're going to get to see how that golfer reacts when they see that shot that they haven't hit all year come out and play, and gives them that confidence that actually I don't mind being short-sided now, so I could be more aggressive on par fives, I could attack pins more and be able to get up and down and drop those shots. And I just think it's very valuable for golfers to understand that the importance of getting fit for your wedges is as important as getting fit for your irons, your putter, your driver, your fairways. It's the fitting in itself is the most important factor. These are all just tools that you can use to ensure that the consumer or the member or the golfer knows, why am I in what I'm in?
Yeah.
And just make it simple.
Well, it's music to my ears. You've got me fit in today for 4 wedges to blend in with my irons. Just quickly run me through what we've kind of gone through and why we're in those wedges for today.
Yeah, so you said you're in your MBs and you quite like the idea of using a Vokey as your pitching wedge and keeping all your wedges the sort of unified in feel. Yep. So we would go into the 46, we hit the 46, we could see that there's absolutely no problem in terms of yardage that you're going to get out of it. It gives you that desired flight. The 50 we had at 12 degrees of bounce if it's in slightly soft, but I believe when we were in the medium conditions, 12F.
Yep.
Then you've got 54 12D, which we're also going to throw in a 14, but that's in a 56, sorry. When we noticed that the yardage gap was an issue.
Yep.
That you can then test in 2 different scenarios. Because you like the 14F, when you've got really soft, fluffy sand, perfect, that's great, use that one. When you're back here in the UK and you can't guarantee that the conditions are the way they are, test the 12D and take that out and see which one, because they're so tightly matched. I think they would be more conducive to where you're playing than necessarily your technique.
Yep.
And then with the 12D, well, we hit some out there just to clarify, but you were hitting shots that actually I don't need to open it as much as I am doing. I can hit my stock shot. I've got the flight window, I've got the grab, all encompassing those 3 keys. Contact, flight, spin. You get the grind right, the CG location and the flight take care of themselves, and the spin wheel grooves give you the control around the greens that you need to land it and see it stop.